cheesy and weird this is. But anyways, hello, TMAS. So I'm going to deliver. Just got back from VidSummit the other day and going to use this to recap everything I saw and learned at VidSummit 2024 in Dallas, Texas. So for those that don't know what VidSummit is, it's a YouTube creator conference. So it's a conference where creators from all over the world come together. So these are big and small creators alike to learn what's working now in YouTube. There's lots of tracks for monetization, better video content that you're creating, how to better edit your content, how to grow your channel, your YouTube channel, and then, of course, other aspects of your business to a place that gives you your end all be all of what you actually want. So anyways, I was just going to go over, this is so weird just talking to myself, but it's okay, whatever. To go over like what I learned and what my takeaways were. So going into the conference, I obviously roomed with friends that I made last year. So hi, Kelly, and hi, Yuli. They were amazing. So we roomed together again so that we could like, meet up before the event. Oh, hello, Samir. We could meet up before the event, plan and ROI the event as much as possible, if you will. One aspect of ROIing, which we had talked about, Kelly and Yuli, was that we wanted to go through who's attending, who are potential collaborations I could find for perpetual traffic. So my goal is, while there, Perpetual Traffic is a podcast that I'm so fortunate to be a co-host of with Ralph H. Burns. And I really wanted to find other creators that have a message or a tactic that I could learn about and bring to the audience. So my ROI, if you will, is to develop relationships and network with people to bring more success to the podcast and find potential creators that I could collaborate with on their respective channels or podcasts. So what we'd done was we'd gone through some of the contacts and seen and identified who has podcasts or who has content that for me would be successful for my audience, and then what Kelly and Yuli had their respective. We also made a list of people that, well, for me at least, who was in Orlando, because obviously I'm here, and I was like, who are local friends? Because I travel so much, and all my friends live far away from me. So anyways, that was the goal. On the first night of the event, there was this welcome party, which is amazing because I got to see Michael. Michael's the reason I went to VidSummit. Even though he ditched me last year, I got to see him this year, which is amazing. Met a lot of really great people. Roxy really stood out to me as one of the friends. Spotter Studio was a big investor, and they had a fun claw machine where people got a lot of SD cards. And we know that filmers and creators, gosh, do those SD cards mean life. So that was fun. There was a lot of great food. They brought back the s'mores tray so you could build your own s'mores, and they had pre-made s'mores. So like that was an amazing first night item. There wasn't as much networking in the first night as there had been in VidSummit 2023. And that might be the fact that I knew no one going into VidSummit last year. So I like literally walked up to strangers like a stage 5 clinger, begging people to be my friends so I wouldn't be so alone at this event. And maybe I wasn't that desperate for friendship this year. I'm not sure. But the evenings pre-kickoff, like pre-event party was fine. Lots of great food. There was some conversations that was going on, but it just didn't seem as facilitated as the previous year. And then we kicked off with day one. I wasn't late. I didn't sleep in and get there 2 hours later. Okay, facts. I totally did. And hi, Sammy. So anyways, this first day when I did get there, I remember last year, my biggest takeaway was like everything related to the Hoova app, which is where all the like micro meetings meet. And I was really stronger on you can't replay the relationships you make in the lobby. So it was almost like a lobby con for me. So I went into a few of the sessions, but nowhere near as many as I had gone to last year. And truth be told, and like just being honest, not all of the sessions this year were as appealing to me as previous ones. So obviously I'm in the middle of writing my book, You All Blow Money. And so everything related to multi-language, multicultural aspects of YouTube were the events I wasn't going to miss. And then the rest of them weren't really high on my priority list of getting information from. There was a lot of great content for sure. It just didn't meet my threshold of success. So I went on both day 1 and day 2 to like Ditto, who had a demo booth that was all about like MLA, so multi-language, using dubbing, using different transcripts you could bring to your channel, and then connected with some others. Like I watched some presentations of foreign YouTubers and how they are doing content both in English and like this one family was doing content in France. Met with a lot of people who are doing multilingual channels and what they're doing, how they're going after different channels beyond just the CPM, because you get paid from YouTube based off of how many thousands of viewers you get. And obviously different marketplaces have different CPMs. So connecting in that was most beneficial for me. And so my biggest takeaway of what we're doing this week, with our amazing social media director, Sammy, like we created a workflow because if you don't know, I own Asian Beauty Essentials, which is an e-commerce site where we sell a lot of Korean beauty, not just in English, but in Spanish to those in the US. And those elements have been successful. Like our YouTube channel for Asian Beauty Essentials is 10 times bigger in Spanish than it is in English. So what we wanted to do is a test, and the takeaway is we've got these workflows now where we're going to build 2 additional foreign language channels, give it till the end of the year and see if we can, 1, get monetized, 2, have it be a self-liquidating channel from the monetization aspect. The English and Spanish channels that we use aren't set up for financial independence on YouTube's monetization. They're set up as drivers to e-commerce sales. So success on YouTube doesn't necessarily translate to the same success in the store. But what we're trying to do now with Urdu and with Portuguese is to make 2 channels specifically with the intention of monetization so that we can get the content we're already creating out to more audiences that I know have physically bought from me. So we have our pop-ups in Orlando, and I've had people from Pakistan, I've had people from Brazil come and buy high average order value, like high AOVs. Like their AOV is so much higher than the other audiences. So those were the 2 languages that we specifically chose. Plus we have amazing team members where that is their first native language. So we'll get to have that adaption. We'll have video editors, that speak Portuguese natively. And then we've got a team based in Pakistan that's going to be able to make sure that we're being native without introducing incorrect language in the dubbing. So we'll be testing Ditto, which was one of the vendors at the conference. We're already using HeyGen 11 Lab AI tools. So we're not married to one of those software platforms, but we're going to be testing it. And so the biggest takeaway, like I said, is day 1, went into that first meeting, connected with our social media director. We built this full workflow that if anyone's remotely interested, like totally don't mind sharing it with you. But essentially we're creating these different videos where we'll create the original video filmed, and we'll call it language agnostic. So it'll be edited without any burned in words. So in the past we would burn in, so you would see like lemon skincare, like on the screen, like burned in subtitles. We're going to remove all of that to make a language agnostic one. Then we're going to create our main English one and then make iterations so that we can do it in Portuguese, in Urdu, and then of course in Spanish, which we're already doing content for. So that's our plan, to do a workflow. In that, with the new languages, Urdu and Portuguese, I'm going to make a mini competition and see, we'll have 2 different assignees to it to see which channel gets monetized first. And the first one to get monetized, that will have a bonus. And then if we can let me take it back. If they get monetized, then we'll have a bonus. And then whichever channel produces better monetization or grows faster, we're going to have then a competitive bonus for those members on our team. So the biggest thing, again, from VidSummit is going deeper into the multicultural, multilingual aspects of YouTube. It's self-serving because obviously that's the whole subject matter of the book that I'm working on. So, feed 1, feed 2, all ships, all waves leave the tide. There's a phrase in there that I can't remember what it's called, but that's what I'm referring to. And so that's like the biggest takeaway. Other components of takeaways is just nurturing the relationships of amazing humans that I got to meet, connecting with them so that it's not a whole nother year, a whole nother VidSummit before I get to see They're amazing faces. Obviously, I travel a lot. I get to travel twice a month, which is such a blessing. So I get to see people from all around the world, which helps when I have like 3 friends in Orlando because all my friends are outside of the city. So with that, my biggest takeaways, of course, is implementing that right away. We've got our workflows. We're talking to also Story, Storry. They were another vendor about facilitating this workflow of all that we're going to be coordinating, implementing inside ClickUp, which is our project manager of choice, so that we can stay on top of these videos as they're being progressed through our various stages. Like we have a video execution SOP, which has like 9 different statuses that trigger and unlock different tasks. Like I'm obsessed with ClickUp. Everything is automated as far as it can be. We even leverage like Make to create the different folders. So everything's going to be hyper structured. So this week, it's taking what we built as a workflow, testing it for the initial implementation, and then launching the first video. We should have it recorded by end of week and launching the other channels this week. So getting them set up. The plan will be based off of this gentleman, Alex, who has his YouTube channel that he's done in 15 different languages. Launch with 5 videos, hoping that 3 of them get a decent amount of views, and then continually posting a new video every day for 30 days. Feedback that I got that I took away was if you're going to do a language test, test it with at least 50 videos. And then you can determine if it's going to be something you're going to invest in further. Because doing this, obviously, there's a financial investment involved. Doing a dubbing in a foreign language is between $1 to $2 a minute. So there is a financial investment in getting that dubbing, plus the resources required for implementing it on the different channels and coordinating within all of our projects. And then, of course, being mindful of existing client work and existing other projects as we're coming into Q4, which is the busiest time of the year. But it's okay. Take action. Put a race to see if we can get it by end of the year. I'm really looking forward to what the results are. If this is remotely interesting, totally happy to share those results back. And then potentially also doing it for perpetual traffic, seeing if it makes sense to further do it as like a Spanish component, because we have an amazingly awesome audience. And since I went there with the intention of getting better at YouTube for perpetual traffic, it would make sense to carry that over. But there's only so many hours in the day. And also, just fun fact, while I was at VidSummit, our YouTube channel hit 4,000 subscribers. I know that's really small, but like 6 months ago, there were 0 subscribers on that YouTube channel. So anyways, I think that's everything. I've totally vented, word vomited what I thought of VidSummit. Last year, I thought the content was better. I thought it was a more organized event. Definitely stronger first impressions, but this year I made deeper connections. I found opportunities that I couldn't have anticipated that may have come out from it. Basically, Luigi and I are going to be best friends for life. He's going to be my Super Mario brother component. So hello, if you're watching. But the other components of last year, which were better, was the after events. So last year, they had this like really amazing event. There were like a few hundred of us that went. And of course, I won the musical chairs, even though like technically I got second. I really won, but this like 16-year-old yanked the chair out from under me. Oh my gosh, it's somewhere on their YouTube channel. They have like 20 plus million subscribers. So I'm so worried that one day that's going to surface and bite me in the butt, like literally where I fell on my butt. But there's a lot more to do outside of the conference than there was this year. At the end of the event, there was this like final party, which was at the Raleigh, walking distance from the event. But music was not necessarily my genre. It was loud. The line to get in took like, I don't know, 30, 45 minutes. So we were standing outside in the Texan heat. And I think there could have been better coordination for it. Like I appreciate that they tried, but I found last year's networking and events in general to be far superior. I thought Go High Level, they were there. They had a chance to present. The content was good. I just think that there was, for a lot of the presentations, what the topic was and what people thought was going to happen were different. So an interesting comment was when they went into the one about monetization, it ended up being like a pitch for Go High Level's affiliate program. And my assumption is that Go High Level got that spot because they had been a paid vendor. And now the content was good. Don't get me wrong. Like great stuff. It was just, there was a title and there was an expectation. And I found that to be true with some of the other vendors as well that I had attended, where they had a workshop because they had a sponsorship and it was so self-serving that I was like, dang, but it's okay. Like I loved it. I am a Go High Level user, so I took a lot out of it, and I think others did too. But I found that to be a similar theme, that maybe the content wasn't as well vetted, but also being mindful that most of it didn't appeal to me because I went in with the intention of how do I provide more value to the perpetual traffic listeners? How might I find new guests to bring onto the show that can introduce a whole lot of information? The value for sure is in the lobby, the relationships you meet. I mean, some of these creators are doing so much all on their own. It's really impressive. But the presentations are definitely led by solopreneurs, less than creators with big teams. So those that are doing everything, you can tell they're doing a lot, and speaking on stage isn't their job full time. And those that aren't doing everything have their teams there. And so there weren't as many big creators as there had been last year, and as I understand from years past, because they are now sending their team members. So people you would anticipate to be there from their advertising aren't there, but members of their team are, which gets into deeper conversations when you're talking about how to move the needle, because a lot of times people that are speaking aren't the ones doing it anymore, so they have to defer you anyways. But it did lose a little element of that for me. There's also a VidCon store. So, oh my gosh, I have more taffy than I will ever need. And some like dried freed candy. Like they had a lot of stuff. Prime was being passed out left and right. But as someone who didn't attend most of the workshops or the stages, I still found value in it. I don't know if I'm going to go again next year. That will likely be based off of who I know is going, and then go for learning rather than earning, because this is one of the conferences where I'm going specifically to learn more about YouTube. But last year, I left knowing immediately I was for sure going to go. This year, I left like, if it works out with my schedule, if that makes sense, I'll go. But it wasn't an incentive enough for me to buy and commit that week of time for next year. But I still enjoyed it. I'm glad I went. Like I said, met a lot of really great people, and it was just a slightly amateur version compared to other conferences that I go to. And so that's just I'm being a conference snob. I attend a lot. I'll speak at some, I'll attend others, I'll sneak my way into some. And so this one I enjoyed, but there's obviously lots of room for improvement. So, stay tuned for how what we're taking from the conference gets implemented, because as soon as I got what I needed, literally spent 45 minutes on the phone, and now it's a race. Can we monetize in Urdu and Portuguese? So we'll see. Okay, hope you enjoyed this obnoxious long venting, and hi Mom, if you're the one who's the only one actually watching this. Bye.